Yeah, that'd be great, Sarah. Thanks. All right, welcome to class, everyone. So glad that you all made it here on your mats. I know we were just talking a little bit about how this time can make us feel kind of tired and just sitting around or not doing our regular kind of here and there sort of thing. So hopefully we'll start a little bit slower at the beginning of class, but with a meditation, but then hopefully we'll get their energy up and feel prepared to go on to the rest of our day and tackle the rest of this week. I just had my last class of seminary this morning. So I'm also here to mark this moment with you all and need to find some energy to finish out all of my ending papers and everything. So I'm right there with y'all. If you want to go ahead and find a comfortable seat, any way that's comfortable for you, I'm going to sit with my legs crossed today. And then just go ahead and get comfy, close your eyes, try to stack each vertebrae one on top of each other. Try to draw your shoulders back and down, so falling away from the ears, opening up the space through the heart. And then as you sit here, just start to tune into your breath, noticing the air as it comes through your nostrils. Maybe it's a little bit cool coming in, and then noticing as you release. Perhaps it's a little bit warmer going out. Take a little note of how your body is feeling today. What sort of emotions you're carrying. And using the breath to help you reflect, inhaling through the nose and exhaling. Maybe as you sit here, you can just ask yourself where your body is holding tension. If you're feeling closed off or shut down emotionally, just asking where your mind is, seeing if the mind is at home with the breath or if it's somewhere else. And at this point, I just invite you to take either one or both hands and just place them over the center of your chest where your heart is. Continuing to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And just noticing what it feels like to place your hands over this tender area, a place where you experience love for both yourself and others. Try to let your breath become smooth and effortless. Maybe with each exhale, releasing any negative thoughts in your mind. Maybe on each inhale, saying to yourself, I am worthy. In each exhale, repeating to yourself, I am enough. With each inhale, I am worthy. And with each exhale, I am enough. Let each inhale draw in self-love, and each exhale, just release whatever is not serving you or those around you. And if your mind begins to wander at any point, that's perfectly fine. It's natural. Just bring your attention back to your breath, back to your body, the hands on the heart. And then here, staying in this meditation, I invite you to visualize yourself standing in front of a mirror and just looking into your own eyes. And asking yourself what you see. Perhaps it's tiredness or pain or sadness. Maybe it's love or joy. It could be a neutral look. Regardless of whatever appearance you see, imagine and seeing yourself, tell yourself, I love you. Say to yourself, you are more than your circumstances. You are worthy of happiness. And as you tell yourself those things, imagine that warmth, that heart center just pouring out through your entire body. Feeling this sense of calm and comfort traveling up through your chest, into your neck, your head, your shoulders, arms and hands. And then down into your ribs, your belly, hips, legs, and feet. Allowing this sensation to fill you from head to toe. And as we start to move and come out of this meditation, just reminding yourself that if there's any point that you need to come back to these feelings of warmth and care, that you're always welcome to. As you're ready, hands can come away from the heart. Maybe you can open your eyes, and with a big inhale, let's bring our arms up overhead, stretching out through the core and through the spine. And on your next exhale, let's just take a gentle spinal twist, right hand behind the back, left hand to that right knee, and look over the right shoulder. Inhale, lift and lengthen back through center. And then exhale over towards the opposite side. Inhale, lift and lengthen back through center. Exhale, switch the cross of the legs, hinge from the hips, come forward and down. Let's lengthen the spine here, really long. And then fingertips to floor, forehead to floor. Press the hips back as you crawl those hands forward. Very slowly, let's walk our hands back towards our body. Hands behind the hips. Big inhale, lift the hips up. Chest open, head back. And exhale, release. Switching the cross of the legs. Hips open, chest open, head back. And exhale, release. Let's come over onto our hands and our knees from here. And we're just going to come all the way up on our knees to begin, trying to stack our knees underneath our hips. We're going to extend that right leg over towards the right side. So try to get the edge of that right foot parallel to the long edge of the mat. And then we'll take a big inhale, lift and lengthen those fingertips. Exhale, left palm down, and you'll reach over with that right arm. So extending through that side body, fingertips, all the way through the ribcage, all the way down the edge of that extended leg. Great, maybe you can look up towards the ceiling as you spiral the heart open. Very slowly, inhale, we'll lift back up, using the core to guide you. And then right palm down, exhaling over towards the opposite side. Maybe you can look up towards the ceiling again. And then slowly exhale. Come back through center. We're just doing the same thing on the opposite side. So extend that left leg out long. You're trying to get that middle of the left foot in line with that right knee. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, right palm down. And just reach and stretch that left arm. If you find that's too hard to get your right hand to the floor, you can always bring like a block or a couple books underneath that hand. Maybe look up towards the sky. Press the hips forward. Press the heart open. One more breath. And then slowly lift, come back up through center. Left hand meets the left leg, and you reach over towards that opposite side. This time, feeling a stretch through that right side body, front side of that right thigh. And then very slowly come back through center. Let's drop down to the hands and the knees here for a quick round of a few cat-cows. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, clarifying that foundation to begin. And then inhale, drop the belly down, lift the tailbone, look up. Exhale, round the back, squeeze the core, drop the head. Inhale, look up. And exhale, round. Great, a few times here. Postures like this that extend and bend the entirety of the spine is so important to do. One more. And then we'll come back to that neutral tabletop position. We'll curl our toes under from here. And all you're doing is starting to straighten the legs, pressing the hips up and back for our first downward facing dog. Let's make sure to pedal out our feet here, as this might be your first down dog of the day. So one heel down and the other. Maybe shaking out the head, nodding yes or no, swaying hips from side to side, whatever you need to do to kind of work through those sticky places, those places of tightness or tension. Good, and find a little bit of stillness and take a few breaths here, feeling both the strength and the stretch of this posture. As you're ready, we'll look between the hands and very slowly begin to walk our feet towards the top of the mat. Once you're there, release the upper body over the legs, surrendering forward and just swaying back and forth. Fingertips towards floor. Inhale, lift up halfway, trying to create that flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Sweep the arms up, palms together. Maybe you take a little back bend, look up and back. And then hands to heart center. Great job. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Try to touch the ceiling, touch the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, reverse swan dive. We're coming all the way back up. Just a couple times here. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, back forward. And forward facing fold. Bend the knees plenty here and step your feet back just into a plank position. Lower your knees down, or you can keep them lifted if you feel like you have the strength today. And we're going to drop all the way down onto our bellies. So come down onto the mat. We're going to slide our hands a little bit further back. Squeeze the elbows in tight beside the body. Keep keep the feet and the tops of the legs firmly planted on the mat, and then inhale, begin to peel that chest up off the floor. Reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling, and try to create some length through the spine. So just breathe here, shoulders away from the ears. If you find yourself on your computer a lot, this is a really good one to start incorporating into your practice. Exhale, slowly release. Curl under those toes, press back to plank, and then lift up, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts for a three-legged dog. Exhale, step that right foot between the hands. Spiral the left foot down at a 45-degree angle, preparing yourself for a Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Inhale, lift up all the way. Check out and make sure your hips are square to the front of the mat. Back foot is planted in the floor and right knee is bent. We'll interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale, open up that chest, your heart space. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Drop your hands down, framing that right foot, and come up into a grounded warrior 3. So all you're doing is you're bringing all your weight into that right leg, and you're trying to get that left leg as close to parallel to the floor as possible. Once you have that, and if you want to try, you can bring one hand to heart center, and then maybe the other hand. So just breathe there. Squeeze the core, squeeze the belly button up towards the spine. It's going to help you stay long and strong. One more inhale. Exhale, try to step back to warrior 1. Reach the arms up. Hands come down, downward facing dog. Opposite side, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, look between the hands, warrior 1. You're rotating that right heel down, and your inhale, sweeping the arms up. Both hips square to the front of the mat. Left knee, nice deep bend. Interlace hands behind the back. Inhale, pull the hands away from the body. Wrists come closer together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Every time you fold, you're coming from the hinge of the hips. Inhale, lift. Last time here. Exhale, fold. Release the hands, come into warrior 3. Lift that right leg up, toes point down to begin. Try to keep that left leg, that standing leg straight, and then maybe hands come to heart center. Good, wobbling around is totally normal. This takes, of course, a lot of concentration, not only for your muscles, but for your mind. One more inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, slowly step back, nice and controlled, warrior 1. Exhale, hands come down, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths in down dog. Look between the hands, walk, step, or jump. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Sweep the arms up. Lengthen the spine. Just press the hips forward, gaze up and back. And then hands through heart center. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Grab a hold of that right wrist with the left hand. Exhale, lean over towards the left. So side body stretches and heart openers are especially good for if you're feeling tired. They're known as stimulating postures. So they're great to incorporate in the middle of the day like this when you get a little bit tired. Inhale back through center. Grab a hold of that left wrist, exhaling over towards the right. Maybe you can look up towards the ceiling. Inhale back through center and exhale forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Bend the knees, plant hands back to plank. Lower all the way back down onto that belly. Inhale back to that back bend as we did before. Tops of the legs, tops of the feet on the mat. Exhale, come all the way back down. Curl the toes under, plank pose. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend that right knee, stack the right hip up towards the ceiling. Just a brief hip opener here. Maybe roll out that ankle a few times. Come back to three-legged dog, inhale. Look between the hands, step that right foot between the hands, come back to warrior one. Left heel spirals down. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands behind the back. Inhale, open that heart. Exhale, humble warrior. Just 2 times here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, humble warrior. Release the hands. Inhale, come up, warrior 3. Just a couple moments here. Inhale and exhale. And from warrior 3, we're going to be coming into pyramid pose. So you're going to step back slightly less with that left foot and try to get both feet parallel towards the long edges of the mat. Both heels grounded down. Once you've done that, take your hands to your hips, inhale, lengthen through the spine, and then you can begin to hinge forward, okay? You can pause anywhere. You can keep your hands on your hips, or you can bring your hands to that right shin if you need some support, or you can bring your hands down to the floor. Try to feel that stretch along that right leg. Left hand stays down. Inhale, reach the right arm up for a twist. As you twist, make sure that back heel is staying grounded down. If you're having trouble keeping that heel down, decrease your stance and bring your left foot in a little bit closer. Great, right hand comes down, both hands come down, step back to plank, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or whatever back bend you'd like to take. Exhale, downward facing dog. Great, opposite side here. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bend the knees, stack the hips. Maybe roll off that ankle a couple of times. We'll come back to three-legged dog. Look between the hands and prep for warrior one. Right heel spirals down. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands behind the back. Inhale, open up the heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Again, we're just doing it twice this time. Exhale, fold. Release the hands, warrior 3. Warrior 3, you're thinking about bringing that crown of the head towards the front of the room that you're in, and that back heel towards the back of the room. So you're pulling in 2 directions. One more inhale. Exhale, try to come into our pyramid pose. You're grounding that right foot down, maybe close to the center of the mat. And then you can bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Pause anywhere that you need to. If you want, hands can come to that left shin or hands to the floor. Focus on keeping both feet, both heels on the floor, and focus on extending through the spine. So you're not dropping the head, but you're looking down and slightly forward, at least for this variation today. For right now, right hand stays down. As you're ready, inhale, left arm lifts for that twist. Left hand down, right foot meets the left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Sweep those arms up. Take a little back bend. And then hands through heart center. Great job. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Take that right foot all the way far back towards the back of the mat, and then walk your hands through center, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Point your toes slightly in and heels slightly out. And then as you're ready, you can just release the upper body down. So trying your best to lean that weight forward, kind of more into the balls of the feet than the heels. Hands can touch the floor if that's available, or maybe you reach for the outsides of the feet. If you have the outsides of the feet, then use that as leverage to pull the crown of the head closer towards the floor. Inhale, slowly come back through center. We're going to walk our hands over towards that right leg, whichever side on your mat it is fine. Bending into that right knee for a low lunge. We'll drop the left knee down and straighten that right leg for a half split. Trying to get a little bit more of the hamstring here, really flexing that right foot. We'll bend back into that right knee, lift the left knee off the mat, and we're walking over to the opposite side. So now you're in low lunge to the left. We'll drop the right knee down, and we'll straighten that left leg. And we're going to go back and forth between these just a couple of times, kind of staying low to the floor, a little bit of fluidity action, a little bit of a fluid action. You know what I mean, I think. Then back into that left knee, lift the right knee, walk over to the opposite side. Good, just trying to find a little bit more extension each time. Then back into that right knee, walk over towards the left. We're going to do one more on each side, bend in, walk over, straighten the right leg, bend in, walk over, and we'll straighten the left leg last time. Bend in, walk back to center, and this time bring the heels in and the toes out. We're preparing for goddess pose. You can come up to stand, bring your hands to your hips, and we're bending deeply into our knees here. Try to be nice and tall here. Really straight line, crown of the head down to the floor. And you can stay here, hands on the hips, or you can bring your hands out towards the side. Hands to center, or even hands overhead. If you want to bring your fingers to a little clasp position, that's perfectly fine. Whatever feels best for you. Building a little bit of strength here, let's lift up that right heel. And we're just going to pulse down and up for a count of 5. So you're just going to lower down and up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, we'll lower that right heel and we'll lift the left heel up. And we'll lower for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll lower the left heel, and here's your challenge. You can stay here. I know you're probably feeling the burn a little bit already, but if you want to try, you can lift up both heels at the same time. And again, we'll pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both heels come down, straighten the legs, straighten the arms for starfish pose. And then again, heels, toes back in, forward facing fold. Bend into that right leg. We're coming into an extended position with the left leg for crouching tiger. Good. We'll walk over to the other side. Good. Back and forth 2 times here. And then as you're ready, come back through center. Take a big step towards the top of the mat and come into forward facing fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Sweep the arms up. Maybe take that back bend if it feels right. And then hands through heart center. Great. We're going to come into a figure 4 balancing posture from this position. So go ahead and find that place where you think that you can be stable today. Grounding your heels underneath the hip bones. Standing up nice and tall. Again, shoulders back to open up the heart. Let's start with our balancing on the right leg today. So we'll bring that left ankle on top of the right thigh. If you find that just bringing your leg up is a little bit too much of a balance challenge, you can just practice with kind of lifting the leg and lowering, okay? That's fine. If you have the ankle rested on top of that right thigh, go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. And then what you're thinking about is imagine that there's a chair behind you and you're coming down to sit. So you're slowly just bending here, bending that right knee, and coming down. Good. It's a great idea to keep that top foot flexed, okay? If you have the flexibility, you can come all the way down and balance on that right heel. Otherwise, just stay here with the stretch. If you want a little bit more challenge, you can reach the arms out. You can try to lower even more. And then very slowly come back up to stand. Release that left ankle off the right leg. And just clarify that foundation again before we start on the other side. Weight into the left leg, cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Stay here, maybe just practice that balance. Especially if your mind is distracted today, sometimes your balance and our bodies can be harder. Just be patient with yourself. And as you're ready, come down to sit. Typically, the lower, the deeper we bend, a little bit easier the balance can be, but it also takes more strength. You can stay here or arms up overhead, trying to get those biceps beside the ears. If it's in your practice to come all the way down to the floor, feel free. Otherwise, just hang out here with me. And then as you're ready, slowly come back up to stand. Right foot comes down, both feet come down and come all the way to the floor. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of core work. Nothing too crazy today, but we are going to start with boat pose. So let's bring those knees together to begin. Hands behind the backs of the thighs. And we'll just lean back slightly to that point where we feel the engagement in the center body. Okay? Doing our best to keep our back flat because we're trying not to strain the back, we're trying to work the front side of the core. One heel can lift and then the other. You might stay here with the grab behind the legs. If you feel secure, arms out, palms facing up. As a variation of boat today, we're going to try to keep that upper body where it is. But all we're going to do with the lower body is first take that right leg and extend it out towards the floor. And then bring the right knee in. Now we'll extend that left leg towards the floor and bring the left knee in. So it's just back and forth, right? That heel is hovering, in, left, heel hovering, in. We'll go for 10. Try to breathe. 9, 8, 7. Take a break if you need to, but dig deep. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and lower all the way down. Great. Allow the back to come flat on the floor. Allow the head to come flat on the floor. Draw both knees in towards the chest, hugging around the shins, and gently releasing any tension you built through the back by just rolling right and left. And then switching the direction of our massage, starting to roll long ways on the spine. Up and down, you can grab the backs of the legs. And finally coming back up to a seat. Preparing for a wide-legged forward fold, or extend both of our legs out long, toes pointed up. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, come forward. Allow yourself to do this slowly, so you can pause. Maybe you just hint a little bit today. Maybe you can come a little bit further as you release. Hands to the floor is a great option. If you have a rug or a carpet in front of you, you can use that to crawl your fingertips forward. If you find that this is really hard for your hips, you can also bring a blanket or something underneath you, and that can help elevate the hips a little bit more so you can fold deeper. So just know that's an option. We're gonna hang out here for a few moments. Breathing. We tend to hold a lot of tension, worry, and anxiety in the area of right here of our hips that we're stretching. So just be aware that things might come up for you. Maybe using that meditation that we started with that was based on self-love and compassion, sending that love back towards yourself right now. As you're ready, let's walk our hands back through center. Let's take a side body stretch. Extend that left leg, that left arm towards the left leg. You can kind of bring that palm underneath the calf or the ankle, and then just reach that right arm up and over. The goal isn't actually to touch the foot with the hand and the hand together, but the goal is just to open up the heart and to feel that right side body stretch. So don't worry about how far you go as long as you feel it. You're getting the benefits of the pose. Good, slowly come back through center. Opposite side, we'll bring that right palm underneath the right calf or ankle, whatever you can reach. Left arm up and over. Heart open, maybe you can even look up towards the ceiling. And very slowly back to center. We're going to close the angle between the legs here. And we're going to come into what's called cow face legs. I don't know why it's called that, but it is. I should look into that because I've said that to multiple yoga classes, and I'm like, I don't know why it's supposed to call this, but so I need to look it up at some point. I'm sure there's a significance. We'll start with that left leg and bring it kind of crossed over to the outside of the right hip. So that left leg is bent underneath. And then we're bringing the right leg on top of it. So we're crossing both legs, trying to get those knees kind of in line. It might be difficult depending on how tight your hips are. You can start with your hands just here at your feet and work on sitting up straight. That's the first step. Okay? We'll probably especially feel it on the outside of that top leg. If you have some comfort there, then you can begin to walk the hands forward. Good. You can even drop the forehead or the chin to that right knee. Just release that upper body down. Release the weight of the skull and all that's in the head. Release the thoughts in it. Very slowly, let's walk our hands back up. We'll take a spinal twist from here, right hand behind the back. Inhale, left arm lifts. Either hug the right knee in towards the chest or bring the left arm on the outside of the leg and look over that right shoulder. As you're ready, untwist, come back through center. Gently release the legs. It can be a lot on the legs. Maybe shake out the knees a little bit, bring some blood flow back, because we are going to do this on the opposite side. Once you've got enough blood flow, you can bring that right ankle towards the outside of the left hip to begin. And try to grab on with that right leg and stack it on top of the other one. You might notice one hip is a little bit tighter than the other. It seems to me that this one is tighter for me. So just work with whatever body you're in today. That's fine. Hands maybe to the feet, and you can just work on sitting up straight and work on breathing. It's a really great thing to practice. Otherwise, of course, at your own pace, you can crawl forward, maybe even surrendering the forehead towards that left knee, dropping the weight of the skull down. And not rushing yourself. As you're ready, you come back through center. Left hand behind the back. Inhale, right arm lifts. It's really important to get that extension first, and then you can twist. Of course, if it's too hard to bring the hand on the outside of the leg, you can just hug the top knee in. Very slowly unwind. Releasing the cross of the legs, shaking them out. Extending them both out long in front of you and coming down one vertebrae at a time. Good. Once that head is back on the floor, all we're going to do is we're going to lift up the right leg, flex the right foot, and you're going to grab behind the thigh. The thigh is kind of our starting point. If that still feels okay, maybe you can reach up onto the calf. You can lift the head and the tops of the shoulders up because we're trying to get a stretch to that right hamstring, drawing the forehead and that right leg closer together. Do your best to keep that left leg out long and planted on the floor, so heel stays down. Good. Think about your legs as in this like L-shaped position. Keep breathing. Maybe you can draw the leg in just a little bit closer. And then very slowly begin to release. Great, opposite side. We'll lift that left leg up, maybe hands behind the thigh or hands up behind the calf. Pressing the heel up towards the ceiling, drawing the forehead towards that left leg. Right heel stays down. Great job, and then very slowly release. Open the knees into the chest, we'll grab onto the outsides of the feet, and we'll come into happy baby. Really great for our spine. Pulling the knees down towards the floor, just rolling right and left. Imagining that one day we'll be able to touch the knees all the way to the floor. You can straighten one leg and then the other if that feels good in your body today. And if you want, you can release the feet and just come up into legs up the wall. If you want to come up right beside a wall to have this be a little bit more of a restorative posture, you can. Just getting up close to a wall and letting those legs go up it, just like it sounds. If you want a little bit more of an active posture today, we'll come into a shoulder stand by just lifting the hips up and grabbing onto the hips with the hands. Relaxing the head and the neck, extending, lengthening through the spine. Avoiding looking right or left in this posture so that you don't hurt your neck. And you can point or you can flex the feet. I kind of prefer to point them in this position. I feel like I get my spine a little bit taller. Just reversing the energy of the body, letting the blood flow in an opposite direction. And then as you're ready, slowly come down, one vertebrae at a time. The slower the better. If there's any other poses or postures you feel as if you need to take to complete your practice, please feel free to do those things now. Otherwise, I invite you to come into Shavasana with me by extending the legs out, arms out, palms facing up, and eyes closed. Perhaps noticing if you feel different now than you did at the beginning of class. Maybe your body feels like it did some good work, or you enjoyed the break from doing another type of work. As you lay here, releasing the muscles of the body to the floor, I invite you to come back to that meditative breath. Maybe repeating that mantra once again with the inhale saying, I am worthy. With the exhale repeating, I am enough. If you find yourself having a hard time doing that, having a hard time believing those words, think about the care that you would give to a loved one, a friend or a sibling, or a child. And see if you can try to extend and expand that care to yourself. Inhale, I am worthy. And exhale, I am enough. We'll stay here for a couple of moments of personal meditation and silence, and then we'll end our class together. In your own time, I invite you to deepen your breath. Start to bring some movements back to your body. Bring your attention back into whatever space that you're in. You can extend your arms up overhead, maybe stretch from the tips of the fingers all the way down to the bottoms of the feet. And then curl the knees into the chest, giving yourself a hug before rolling over to one side. Pausing there, taking a moment to give thanks, to be grateful for what you have, and to remind yourself of anything that you discovered in this class. And then as you're ready, let's come to find that comfortable seat that we started with together, eyes still closed. If they happen to open on your way, you can just close them again whenever you get there. Together, we'll take a deep breath in, arms lift, palms touch, deep breath out, lowering the hands, pausing over the forehead. That symbol and reminder for us to have kind thoughts over the mouth, gentle words, and over the heart, pure intentions. Namaste.